Chapter 3378, Ask Away. When Wang Xian uttered these two words, all the surrounding disciples were equally stunned. Ask away? The sudden appearance of the eldest senior brother surprised and stunned all the disciples. They had mentioned their eldest senior brother's identity just now, and Wang Xian had obviously heard it. Yet he still said ask away. What did that mean? Did that mean that I'm qualified to teach your eldest senior brother? He's totally disrespecting eldest senior brother. Wang Xian is so arrogant. How dare he say ask away to eldest senior brother? He's too arrogant. That's right. Eldest senior brother can reach rank 8 universe supremacy anytime. Wang Xian doesn't even respect eldest senior brother. Does he really think that he's stronger than some elders? When the three middle-aged men heard Wang Xian's words, they were displeased as they spoke coldly. The surrounding disciples also pursed their lips and looked on in shock. Senior brother Wang Xian, he's the current eldest senior brother of the Thunder Ray race. He's very strong. Lei Yunzi hurriedly transmitted a message to Wang Xian when she saw this. Wang Xian smiled and wasn't bothered. He naturally heard the discussions of the surrounding disciples and could tell the strength of the middle-aged man in the middle. A rank 7 universe supremacy was definitely not weak among rank 7 universe supremacies. But now that Wang Xian's thunder technique had reached its peak, he didn't think that anyone among the rank 7 universe supremacies could be his match. Moreover, with his current strength, it was more than enough to guide a rank 7 universe supremacy disciple. Good. Young and frivolous. Not bad. Eldest senior brother squinted his eyes and burst into laughter when he heard him. He stared at Wang Xian with a tinge of mockery and coldness. Initially, he felt immense pressure towards Wang Xian, because his potential was too terrifying. But now, it seemed like he was just an arrogant kid. How could he be invincible with such a temperament? The tallest tree in the forest would be destroyed by the wind. All the sky prides were weaklings before they became strong. Since you're so confident, I'd like to ask you for advice. I, Lei Yuntian, am just one step away from breaking through to rank 5 universe supremacy. My thunder technique has already reached the peak of rank 7 universe supremacy. How do I break through? Eldest senior brother Lei Yuntian stared at Wang Xian and asked with a smirk. Be more specific. Upon hearing his words and seeing his expression, Wang Xian continued plainly. It was as if a teacher was teaching his students. I don't know how to express it. Why don't I show it to you and let you feel it? Lei Yuntian squinted his eyes and said, Sure. Wang Xian replied plainly, Good. We can't display our skills here. Let's go to the arena above the training field. Lei Yuntian laughed out loud. He slowly turned around and flew outside. I hope you won't disappoint me and can hold out for a few more seconds. His voice resounded in the martial arts arena. Is this a spar? Everyone who saw this scene was dumbfounded. Is senior brother Wang Xian going to spar with eldest senior brother? Don't worry, it should be enough to guide you. Wang Xian chuckled. With a swift move, he followed closely behind. Senior brother Wang Xian is actually so confident. Eldest senior brother has reached the combat strength of a level 7 universe venerable for more than 20 million years. Senior brother Wang Xian has just broken through not long ago. How can he fight? Senior brother Wang Xian is too young and full of vigor. How can he be a match for eldest senior brother? I think senior brother Wang Xian is too arrogant. The other disciples have been praising him for the past few days. Does he really think he is a match for eldest senior brother? When the surrounding disciples heard Wang Xian, they couldn't help but comment. Although Wang Xian had made a name for himself over the past few days, Lei Yuntian was their eldest senior brother. He had been their eldest senior brother for tens of millions of years. His prestige was definitely not something that Wang Xian could catch up to in the past few days. Many disciples were displeased when they heard what he said. Let's follow him. Lei Xingyun, Lei Yunzi and the rest frowned and immediately followed behind. At the same time, they immediately passed the news to the group of elders. Senior brother Wang Xian is going to spar with eldest senior brother. Senior brother Wang Xian is challenging eldest senior brother. He wants to spar with eldest senior brother. Let's go and watch. Soon, the news about the spar between Wang Xian and Lei Yuntian spread like wildfire. When all the disciples heard the news, they immediately flew towards the arena above the training field. All the disciples were shocked. Lei Yuntian had been the eldest senior brother for tens of millions of years. All the disciples were convinced by him. Senior brother Wang Xian had just joined the Thunder Ray tribe not long ago. Yet, he wanted to spar with eldest senior brother? Young people can be arrogant. You have the capital to be arrogant. However, you have to pay the price for being too arrogant. Today, I'm going to teach you a lesson. Lei Yuntian flew to the highest arena. His thunder wings spread out behind him as he stared at Wang Xian and spoke plainly. You were the one who asked me for advice. I should be the one to teach you a lesson and give you some pointers. When Wang Xian heard what he said, his lips curved slightly as he replied with a smile. Senior brother Wang Xian is so confident. He's not confident. He's being too arrogant. When the disciples who were following closely behind heard their conversation, they couldn't help but comment. I'll let you know how high the sky is and how thick the earth is. Lei Yuntian's eyes were cold. With a flick of his palm, a thunder hammer and a thunder all appeared in his hands. It was especially so for the thunder hammer. It shone with purple radiance and contained a terrifying aura. Wang Xian chuckled. With a flick of his palm, the thunder prison appeared in his hands. Crackle! Lei Yuntian raised the thunder hammer in his hand and gently touched the thunder all. The sound of thunder and lightning reverberated. Swoosh! The thunder wings appeared behind Wang Xian with the shadow of a thunder dragon on them. He flew above the thunder prison. This isn't your era yet. I won't bully you. Make your move. Lei Yuntian stared at him coldly. Watch carefully. I'll teach you well from now on. Wang Xian smiled and swung his arm. Prison chain frenzied dragon. He roared and swung his arm. In the next instant, the acquired treasure thunder prison enlarged and the thunder dragon within it roared. He carried the thunder prison and charged towards Lei Yuntian. Ske, you don't know what's good for you. Lei Yuntian snorted coldly. The thunder hammer smashed heavily on the thunder all. The acquired treasure thunder all released a terrifying thunderbolt that struck towards the thunder dragon and thunder prison. He roared. It's a little slow. After all, acquired treasures are just worldly possessions. If you want to make a breakthrough, it's better not to rely on such treasures for the time being. Wang Xian commented emotionlessly as though he was teaching a student. This caused Lei Yuntian's face to darken. Chapter 3379. Swish, swish, swish. Gosh, big senior brother and senior brother Wang Xian are really fighting. Although senior brother Wang Xian is a divine dragon, he has just stepped into the level 7 universe venerable realm. How can he be a match for big senior brother? How dare he compete with big senior brother? He's too arrogant. As the battle erupted, more and more disciples flew over. Looking at the two people who were already fighting in the arena, a look of shock appeared on their faces. Wang wang wang. At this time, 4 to 5 figures suddenly appeared at the side of the arena. 4 to 5 old men could be vaguely seen as they stared at the arena. This disciple of Wang Xian is too arrogant. Yun Tian is after all the big senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe. He has been nurtured by the Thunderlight tribe. Although Wang Xian has unlimited potential, he's still too young to challenge Yun Tian. The 4 old men were all elders of the Thunderlight tribe. One of the elders looked over and commented plainly. Second elder, that might not be the case. Wang Xian's disciple isn't from an ordinary tribe. Even among the pinnacle, he would be a supreme talent. In the middle, the great elder shook his head. His eyes flickered as he watched Wang Xian controlling the thunder dragon to fight with Lei Yuntian. Hee, great elder, I don't believe that a disciple who hasn't even reached the 20th epoch can defeat our big senior brother. If that's the case, we old fellows would have lived in vain. The second elder frowned and said. He didn't believe that Wang Xian would be a match for Lei Yuntian. Lei Yuntian was the most talented disciple of the Thunderlight tribe. His cultivation period was dozens of times longer than Wang Xian's. Wang Xian had just broken through to the level 7 universe venerable realm, even if he was a purebred divine dragon. From the bottom of his heart, he wasn't willing to believe that Wang Xian was Lei Yuntian's disciple. At the same time, he hoped that Lei Yuntian would win. Otherwise, it would be a huge blow to them. Many of the surrounding disciples had the same thoughts as the second elder. They were all living beings from the chaotic continent, but the divine dragon bloodline was only one level higher than theirs. If their big senior brother was defeated, it would be a huge blow to them. Go, big senior brother. Big senior brother is the strongest. If senior brother Wang Xian wants to defeat big senior brother, he'll need at least a dozen more eras. Some disciples cheered for big senior brother. Buzz buzz. At this moment, two figures slowly appeared beside the elders. Yun Tian is much weaker in terms of controlling the thunder art. With such terrifying talent, it's hard for even the disciples of the top clans to have such an abnormal existence. The appearance of the two figures caused the elders to be slightly startled. Patriarch, exalted. They hurriedly shouted respectfully. The Lightning Race Patriarch and the Grand Elder waved their hands. Clan Leader, Grand Elder, how is this possible? No matter how strong the disciple of Wang Xian is, it's impossible for him to defeat Yun Tian. How long has it been since he broke through? The second elder said in disbelief. Continue watching. The eyes of the leader of the Lightning Race flickered. Get lost. In the center of the arena, Lei Yuntian held a lightning hammer in one hand and a lightning awl in the other. He looked like a thunder god that had descended. He flew above Lei Long with a cold expression on his face, and the terrifying power of thunder attacked Lei Long Buzz. Below, the thunder wings on Wang Xian's back trembled and bolts of lightning connected to the thunder dragon. The thunder dragon's horns shone brightly as it charged forward. Below it, the massive thunder prison enveloped Wang Xian directly. Rumble. An intense collision sounded and the terrifying thunder and lightning caused tiny cracks to appear in the void. Lei Yuntian quickly retreated backward to avoid the attack of the thunder prison. Nomological laws of Dharma, thunder flashes of the 9 heavens. Seeing that the thunder dragon was still imbued with terrifying power, his face darkened and he let out a deep roar. The nomological laws of Dharma was unleashed. Crackle. 9 bolts of lightning, each more horrifying than the previous, fell directly on the thunder dragon. The power of this nomological laws of Dharma isn't bad, but it's too cumbersome. Wang Xian stood below and evaluated it plainly. 8 directional thunder pillars. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes and the thunder dragon formed by the thunder art roared. 8 thunder pillars appeared around it instantly. The divine dragon circled around the thunder pillars and attacked Lei Yuntian directly. Shit! Lei Yuntian's expression changed slightly when he saw this. His thunder flash 9th heaven consisted of 9 bolts of lightning striking one after another. Each strike was stronger than the previous one. However, the 8 directional thunder pillars exploded with horrifying power. The first bolt of lightning was instantly crushed by the thunder pillars and continued to attack him. He flapped his wings and dodged to the side immediately. His face was extremely gloomy. At this moment, even though most of the disciples couldn't see the battle between Wang Xian and Lei Yuntian clearly, they could still see the situation clearly. Wang Xian had been standing there and controlling the thunder dragon. From time to time, he would even give his comments casually. On the other hand, their eldest senior brother was dodging attacks everywhere. He couldn't do anything to the thunder dragon and thunder prison. He was obviously at a disadvantage. This made many disciples feel incredulous. Senior brother Wang Xian has just broken through. How can he put eldest senior brother in such a pathetic state? This is unbelievable. Even a divine dragon shouldn't be this powerful. Eldest senior brother probably hasn't released his ultimate move yet. Eldest senior brother seemed to have cast the nomological laws of Dharma just now. The disciples discussed with their eyes wide open. At your level, there aren't many experts who can guide you. You aren't a match for me. Why don't you try to break through with your fighting spirit? However, don't be discouraged. At this moment, everyone heard Wang Xian's voice again. Everyone from the Thunderlight tribe opened their mouths slightly. Confidence? Arrogance? Arrogance? Restraint. Huff huff. At this moment, Lei Yuntian's breathing was a little rapid. The thunder wings on his back were pitch black and his face was gloomy. Seeing this, the second elder's expression was gloomy. The outcome was already very obvious. Wang Xian could put Lei Yuntian in such a pathetic state just by controlling the thunder dragon. If he were to fight Wang Xian himself, Lei Yuntian would definitely not be a match for him. In fact, under such circumstances, he might not even be a match for Wang Xian. Alright Yuntian, you have lost. Wang Xian will be the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe in the future. At this moment, the chief of the Thunder Light tribe, who was standing at the side, announced, "What? It's the chief and the rest. Greetings, chief. Greetings, Grand Supreme." Upon hearing this voice, the surrounding disciples hurriedly looked over and bowed respectfully. Lei Yuntian's body trembled as he looked at the chief and the rest. He took a deep breath. "Greetings, Chief and Grand Supreme." He greeted respectfully. His eyes were filled with indignation, disbelief, and shock. He knew that he had lost. He had lost to a new disciple. The position of the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe had changed hands. Chapter 3380. It was Wang Xian's first time meeting the chief of the Thunder Ray tribe. He cupped his hands and greeted him, not because of anything else, but because the chief of the Thunder Ray tribe was older than him. Wang Xian chuckled to himself and didn't hold it against him. Hee. The chief of the Thunder Ray tribe and the rest looked at Wang Xian with shock in their eyes. "Yunan, Wang Xian, come with us." As the chief of the Thunder Ray tribe spoke, he waved his arm and a bolt of lightning appeared beneath them. It flew towards the main hall. The Grand Elder stood at the side. "From today onwards, I, Wang Xian, will be your big senior brother and the leader of the disciples. According to the rules of the Thunder Ray tribe, all of you have to obey big senior brother's orders." The great elder looked at the surrounding disciples as he spoke after seeing the chief leaving with Wang Xian and Lei Yuntian. "Yes." All the disciples were shocked as they answered immediately. "Don't be discouraged and don't feel discouraged. Your big senior brother Wang Xian's talent is unparalleled even among all the elite tribes." The great elder looked at them and added. The great elder was really worried that the disciples would be discouraged. After all, Wang Xian was the youngest among all the disciples of the Thunder Ray tribe. To be their big senior brother at such a young age was a huge blow to them. After the great elder finished his sentence, he left with the group of elders following behind him. Senior brother Wang Xian actually won, and with such ease. Even the clan leader and the great elder have such high praise for senior brother Wang Xian. This is simply unbelievable. Yeah, who would have expected senior brother Lei Yuntian to be defeated? From today onwards, senior brother Wang Xian will be our big senior brother. The great elder's praise is too high. It's great that Wang Xian is our big senior brother. He is even willing to guide our disciples. I heard that he captured many wild beasts and gave them to the tribe. Awesome. I want big senior brother Wang Xian to be my goal. When the group of disciples saw the patriarch and the elders leaving, they discussed in shock. Disciple Wang Xian, welcome to the Thunder Ray tribe. According to the rules of the Thunder Ray tribe, the one who becomes the big senior brother will be rewarded with an acquired cardinal treasure. In view of your excellence, I can make an exception and open the treasure vault. You can choose any treasure within. In the main hall of the Thunder Ray tribe, the chief led Wang Xian and the rest over. Thank you, Patriarch. Wang Xian was slightly taken aback. After hesitating for a moment, he did not reject and nodded his head slightly. Second Supreme Elder, please bring him to our clan's treasury. The Thunder Ray tribe leader said to the Supreme Elder beside him. Alright. The second Supreme Elder nodded his head and looked at Wang Xian. He smiled and said, "Let's go." Wang Xian immediately cupped his fists. "Take out that Dragon Ball and let him choose." Suddenly, the Thunder Light tribe leader sent a voice transmission to the second Grand Elder. The second Grand Supreme Elder's body trembled slightly as he nodded at the Thunder Light tribe patriarch. He waved his arm and brought Wang Xian to the back. They kept flying backward, and soon, they entered a small thundercloud. However, Wang Xian could sense great terror from this thundercloud. A palpitating feeling came over him. Hehe, this is where the treasury of the Thunder Ray tribe is located. It's located in a grotto heaven with an offensive nature. Seeing Wang Xian's expression, the second Supreme Elder smiled and continued, the offensive power of this grotto heaven can easily kill pinnacle supremacies of the universe. Moreover, the first Supreme Elder is guarding this place with an innate spiritual treasure. Innate spiritual treasure. Wang Xian was shocked to hear the words of the second Supreme Elder. Hehe, let's go. The second Supreme Elder smiled faintly and entered the entrance in front of him. First Supreme Elder, the chief must have informed you. He walked to the door and shouted directly, let me take a look at this purebred divine dragon disciple. At this time, a figure suddenly appeared in front of Wang Xian. He sized him up and exclaimed, impressive. Youngsters nowadays are really impressive. Let's go in. Thank you, First Supreme Elder. Wang Xian took a look at the old man and cupped his hands in greeting. Let's go. The second Supreme Elder placed his palm on the metal door of the entrance. The door of the treasury opened and brought him in. After passing through a tunnel filled with thunderbolts, Wang Xian and the rest arrived at a stone chamber filled with thunderbolts. There were some treasures placed in the stone chamber and each of them contained immense power. There weren't many treasures. There were only over 20 of them and most of them were acquired treasures with thunder attributes. There's one more treasure that the chief allows you to choose from. Of course, if you really can't use it, you can forget about it. As the second Supreme Elder spoke, he dripped a drop of blood onto a ball in the middle. The space in front of him instantly turned illusory. He reached out and a universal box appeared in his hand. Wang Xian was slightly shocked when he heard him and saw the box in his hand. A strong suction force came over and his eyes shone brightly. Wang Xian's breathing quickened when he saw this. This is one of the most precious treasures of the Thunder Light race. It's comparable to an innate spiritual treasure. As it doesn't match the attributes of the Thunder Light race, it has always been placed here. The second Supreme Elder of the Thunder Light race said as he looked at Wang Xian. This is the divine weapon of the divine dragon, the Dragon Ball. As he spoke, he slowly opened it, and a blazing flame bloomed. As the flame burned, cracks appeared in the surrounding void. It was extremely terrifying. A Dragon Ball at the level of a Universe Lord. Wang Xian exclaimed in shock with his eyes wide open. Yes, a Dragon Ball at the level of a Universe Lord. It should be a First-Order Universe Lord and is definitely comparable to an innate spiritual treasure. It might even be more precious than an innate spiritual treasure for cultivators with fire attributes. The second Supreme Elder spoke with a heavy tone. This is too precious. Wang Xian opened his mouth and looked at the second Supreme Elder of the Thunder Light race. Hehe, the chief has made an exception and brought it out for you to choose. If it's useful to you, you can choose it. If it's not useful, then don't choose it. This is also a treasure to the Thunder Light race. The second Supreme Elder chuckled and said, a Dragon Ball at the level of a Universe Lord was indeed a treasure to the Thunder Light race. Even if they couldn't use it, they could still exchange it for a huge amount of resources and an innate spiritual treasure. The reason why the Thunder Light race brought it out for Wang Xian to choose was because they saw his potential. They wanted to let Wang Xian know that the Thunder Light race had treated him well. This could be considered a bet. They were betting that Wang Xian would definitely become a powerful existence in the future and would definitely know how to be grateful. Second Supreme Elder, this fire spirit ball is of great use to me. I, Wang Xian, will repay the kindness of the Thunder Light race tenfold in the future. Wang Xian said to the second Supreme Elder with gratitude when he saw the fire spirit ball. Once he had this fire spirit ball, his 5 elements grindstone could be upgraded again. Chapter 3381. Hehe, alright. Since it's useful to you, take it. Upon hearing Wang Xian, the second Supreme Elder revealed a smile. 10 times the reward was more than enough. Since the Thunder Ray race had taken out such a treasure, they were betting on Wang Xian's future. You may leave. Now that you have become the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Ray race, Your status is equivalent to that of an elder. You can go to most places in the Thunder Ray race, and you also have quite a bit of authority. The Great Elder will inform you about this later. Also, under normal circumstances, there will be a celebration for the birth of every eldest senior brother. You can set a time for this celebration. There's no rush, it can be held within 10 years. The second Supreme Elder said to Wang Xian with a smile. He was very satisfied with Wang Xian. Their only regret was that he wasn't a disciple of the lightning race. However, after thinking about it, the Thunder Ray race would not be able to produce such a talented disciple. Yes, Supreme Second Elder. Wang Xian nodded his head and held the fire spirit ball in his hand. After exiting the treasure vault of the Thunder Ray race, Wang Xian separated from the second Supreme Elder and flew towards his own palace. The second Supreme Elder watched as Yi Futian entered the main hall. Patriarch, he chose that dragon pearl. He came to the main hall and said directly, if I'm not mistaken, although it's a fire dragon pearl, its grade is too high. It should be extremely beneficial for his cultivation. What do you think of him? The Thunderlight Race Patriarch said without the slightest surprise. His character is not bad. He won't be an ingrate. Second Supreme Elder said with a smile. Yes, the disciples of the ancestral dragon's lineage, including that ancestral dragon, have been doing very well. The Thunderlight tribe leader commented. He looked at Lei Yuntian, who was beside him. Yuntian, you don't have to be too concerned about the results of the previous match. Someone like him is a unique existence even amongst the peak tribes. You can see it as motivation, but don't compare yourself to him. In the world of the strong, age doesn't matter. As long as you are strong, talent and potential are secondary. Yes, Patriarch. Lei Yuntian clenched his fists tightly and nodded heavily. He was also clear that there was no need to compare talent and potential with someone of this level, because that was purely looking for trouble. It was enough to compare strength. He was only slightly weaker than the Heaven Stinger. He still had a chance. Our gains from this trip to the Thunder Ray tribe are simply too great. Upon entering the palace, Wang Xian opened the fire spirit ball and his eyes lit up. After gathering the feathers of thunder, the unbeginning sacred wings became complete, and its strength increased. Now that he had obtained a powerful fire dragon pearl, he could upgrade the 5 elements grindstone. I owe the Thunder Ray race quite a lot now. I'll have to repay them in the future. He thought to himself as he contacted the Great Elder of the Lightning race. Every time a grand senior brother was born in the Thunder Ray race, a grand banquet would be held. Wang Xian informed the Great Elder to hold the banquet a year later. Now, he had to raise the grade of the 5 elements grindstone. Also, there were some other things he had to decide. After setting up a seclusion sign outside, Wang Xian called the blazing dark sky array over. Previously, after Wang Xian had given him the ancient oil lamp, he had gone for an upgrade. His advancement this time was very smooth, and he did not encounter any special circumstances. He still had no idea where he would be teleported to. Dark Sky Array's strength had reached level 8 of the Universe Venerable Realm. This strength was already very strong. When he first arrived at the interior of the Chaotic Continent, he hunted down a muscle-head snake. As a result, his strength had also reached level 9 of the Universe Venerable Realm. Dark Sky Array, you stay here and inform me if there's anything, Wang Xian instructed before disappearing immediately. In the next moment, he arrived at the Dragon Palace. Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle sensed his arrival and greeted him respectfully. Prime Minister Turtle, how's the investigation of the nearby sea region? Asked Wang Xian. Dragon King, the investigation is basically done. Any deeper and it will be the interior of the Chaotic Continent. Dragon King, should we let the disciples enter the interior? Asked Prime Minister Turtle. The Dragon Palace had been recuperating for about 12 years. This was the longest period of recuperation in the Dragon Palace so far. How's the understanding of the internal situation of the Dragon Palace? Asked Wang Xian. Dragon King, we have a good understanding. I think we can let the disciples enter the interior of the Chaotic Continent, said Prime Minister Turtle. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly and agreed with him. The internal forces are stronger, Our dragon palace can only be considered an ordinary force if we go there. Let them form groups or enter the interior alone to gain experience. We can also emulate the ancestral dragon lineage," he said after pondering for a while. Other than him, the current dragon palace wasn't too strong. If they entered the interior of the continent and he wasn't in charge of the dragon palace, the strength of the dragon palace would be completely insignificant. After all, in the interior, some forces of the cities and pinnacle experts weren't weaker than the dragon palace. In that case, we might as well let the disciples emulate the ancestral dragon lineage and gain experience on their own. I agree. There are more opportunities in the interior of the chaotic continent. Chapter 3382. On the 5 Elements Grindstone, the 5 divine dragons emitted a powerful aura. When they fused together, they could kill a pinnacle supremacy of the universe. He broke through. After the 5 Elements Grindstone upgraded, the Fire Spirit Pearl wasn't completely absorbed. There was still more than half of the energy left. Although this energy wasn't enough to upgrade the 5-element grindstone again, it could accumulate a massive amount of energy for the next upgrade. If he could obtain another Fire Spirit Pearl of this grade, he should be able to make a breakthrough in the 5 Elements Grindstone. The 5 Elements Grindstone's absorption didn't stop after it was upgraded. A month later, the Fire Spirit Pearl had completely disappeared, and the might of the 5 Elements Grindstone had increased again. Phew, my strength is already comparable to a pinnacle universe supremacy. Now that I've reached the 5 Elements Grindstone, fighting against and even killing 3 or 4 pinnacle universe supremacies shouldn't be too much of a problem. Of course, if the opponent has a Xian treasure, then it won't be possible. Wang Xian mumbled to himself with a satisfied look on his face. In 3 months, the refinement of the 5 elements was complete. After spending 2 days with the girls in the Dragon Palace, he called Enlai over. Buzz. When he returned to the Thunder Ray tribe once again, he swept his gaze across the hall and smiled. Next, my goal is to level up. This requires a lot of resources. Wang Xian planned in his mind. The last time he leveled up was because of the unbeginning sacred wings. His realm was still at the Universe Venerable rank 3. When he reached the 4th order of the Universe Venerable realm, he would possess the combat power of a first-order universe ruler. Resources? He sighed and took out the Universe AI to search. Right now, he couldn't possibly ask the Thunder Ray race for resources. The other party had already given him quite a lot. Furthermore, if he wanted to break through, he would need a lot of resources. He would have to find the resources himself. The Thunderlight tribe resides within the Thunderclouds. The entire Thundercloud region is a special domain that contains a large number of treasures. There are many places that the elites of the Thunderlight tribe have never stepped into before. Wang Xian murmured. The Thunderlight race was born in the Thunderclouds, but they were not the owners of this Thundercloud domain. There were many places that the experts of the Thunderlight race did not dare to step into. There were still a lot of treasures in this area. Let's go take a look at the depths of the Thunderclouds, he murmured to himself. Then he took action. His body moved and he flew out directly. Eldest senior brother. When he arrived at the location of the teleportation formation, the experts guarding the area immediately greeted him respectfully when they saw him. The eldest senior brother's status was equivalent to that of an elder. Even the Thunderlight tribe's deacon would have to address him as eldest senior brother. Wang Xian nodded his head and arrived at the border of the lightning race through the teleportation formation. Eldest senior brother, be careful. With the reminders from the few middle-aged men at the periphery, Wang Xian flew towards the depths. After flying for 2 hours, he sensed his surroundings. Crash. In the next moment, the complete unbeginning sacred wings appeared on his back. Wang Xian's aura underwent a drastic change. His face was slowly covered by dragon scales. In the next moment, he charged forward. His speed had increased by more than 100 times. This was his peak speed. Awesome! Without concealing his strength, Wang Xian flew within the thunderclouds. Feeling his terrifying speed, he revealed a smile. In a flash, he disappeared. Crash! The unbeginning sacred wings flapped and the power of wind and lightning condensed in front of him. His speed had already surpassed the pinnacle of the universe supremacies. This was a speed that only a ruler could display. With my strength, I should be the best in the entire thundercloud's domain, right? Even if the strongest expert of the lightning race is wielding an innate spiritual treasure, I have full confidence that I can kill him. Wang Xian mumbled to himself and revealed a smile. The complete unbeginning sacred wings and the upgraded 5 elements grindstone were his trump cards. Previously, a journey that would have taken them a few months had taken Wang Xian only half a day. After half a day, he arrived at the thunderous net. The thunderous net was densely covered and intertwined. Wang Xian continued to fly forward. He slowed down slightly and scanned his surroundings. Before long, he saw a thundercloud vulture. A rank 6 universe supremacy thundercloud vulture. He squinted his eyes slightly. In a flash, he came to the side of the thundercloud vulture. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Before the thundercloud vulture could react, he caught it instantly. Hee, a rank 6 universe supremacy thundercloud vulture. I'll keep it. Next, I'll capture all the wild beasts below rank 8. He mumbled to himself. If he encountered any wild beasts in the future, he would capture them and gift them to the lightning race disciples as a form of repayment. The most important thing is to look for some treasures, he thought to himself. In a flash, he continued to fly forward. According to the information from the lightning race, there were no existences at the universe lord level in the thundercloud territory. This was a good thing for Wang Xian. Without a universe lord, they could forget about killing him. However, he could not be careless. There were many grotto heavens and blessed lands in the thundercloud territory. Some grotto heavens and blessed lands were occupied by wild beasts. Some grotto heavens and blessed lands had offensive means that could kill those below the universe lord level. He could not be careless, but he did not have to be overly cautious either. Traversing the thunderous clouds of the thunderous net, Wang Xian sensed his surroundings with the unbeginning sacred wings. Some places with dense thunderous or unusual lightning would have treasures. There are quite a lot of treasures here. In the next half a month, Wang Xian found many treasures ranging from Emperor God level to rank 7 and 8 universe supremacy level. Postnatal spiritual treasures with lightning powers, special fruits, and all sorts of other things. Moreover, in this half a month, he had also captured over 100 wild beasts. Among them, there were over a dozen thundercloud vultures. This was mainly because Wang Xian's speed was too fast and his sensitivity to lightning was too strong. If it were other experts at the pinnacle of the universe supremacy level, they would not even be a tenth of his strength. At this moment, he was nearing the depths of the thundercloud territory. Further in would be the forbidden zone for disciples of the lightning race. Once a disciple entered, the death rate would be as high as 80%. Wang Xian did not have the slightest hesitation as he continued to fly forward. It's indeed dangerous. When he was flying ahead, Wang Xian suddenly squinted his eyes. At this point, the thunderous clouds had already connected to the ground. Behind him, the thunderous clouds were several billion kilometers above the ground. In front, the black and purple thunderous clouds were connected to the ground. It looked as though the sky and earth were not separated. In this place, one not only had to pay attention to the surroundings, but also to the ground. Swish. Wang Xian moved his body and entered it directly. Swish, swish, swish. However, as soon as he entered, lightning arrows shot towards him. Chapter 3383, Sensing the arrows flying towards him, Wang Xian shifted his consciousness and his body flickered in an instant. Bam, bam, bam. In the next instant, a series of explosions sounded. Hundreds of thunder male apes were killed by Wang Xian at a position hundreds of millions of kilometers to the right of him. Thunder male apes were a type of wild beast in the thunderclouds region. They excelled in team battles. More than 100 thunder male apes were all rank 7 universe venerables. However, he had ambushed the wrong target this time. Courting death. Wang Xian said coldly. With a wave of his arm, he kept all the corpses. No wonder the interior of the thunderclouds is more dangerous. I really can't be careless. He hesitated for a moment before he flew down and landed on the ground. The thunderclouds here were connected to the ground. There might be wild beasts underground as well. Landing on the ground, he could be more vigilant of his surroundings. He continued flying forward. Before long, Wang Xian came to the front of a mountain under the detection of the unbeginning sacred wings. The mountain wasn't tall, only tens of thousands of meters. However, it was connected to the peak by a lightning pillar. There was a lightning tree at the peak of the mountain. The entire tree was emitting powerful energy. TSK, a rank 9 universe venerable thunder tree. This is a treasure. His eyes sparkled as he sensed the surroundings. There shouldn't be any wild beasts guarding around the lightning tree. However, after sensing for a while, he didn't discover any wild beasts. Swish! Wang Xian moved and landed on the peak of the mountain, beside the lightning tree. He swept his gaze across and reached out to grab it. Rumble! At the moment he made his move, a terrifying attack erupted from the mountain below. A palm made of huge rocks slammed towards Wang Xian. What? A mountain with rank 9 universe venerable strength? He quickly transformed his arms into dragon claws and clenched them together. Then he smashed them towards the mountain. Bam! The huge impact caused the arm of the mountain to disintegrate instantly. A furious roar came from the mountain. In the next instant, countless huge rocks containing terrifying lightning bolts smashed towards Wang Xian like meteorites. Courting death! Wang Xian roared. Hurricanes containing the power of lightning appeared on the unbeginning sacred wings behind him. The hurricanes attacked the entire mountain. Boom, boom, boom. The meteorite-like boulders instantly crumbled and scattered in all directions. However, when the thunderbolt boulders were attacking Wang Xian, the huge mountain began to turn illusory. It was ready to flee. It's too late. Wang Xian fixed his gaze on the desolate beast on the mountain peak and revealed a cold look. At such a close distance, it was impossible for him to escape. Bam, bam, bam. In an instant, Wang Xian arrived before the body that was about to disappear. Waves of destructive force of the 5 elements blasted into it. Roar! With a fearful roar, Wang Xian swayed his body and charged over with the divine dragon tail. Bam! Cracks appeared on the desolate beast's body as its life force gradually disappeared. This aura concealment ability is truly powerful. Even I can't sense it. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he looked at the dead mountain peak beast. At this moment, he saw purple liquid-like lightning essence flowing out from the crack in the desolate beast's body. Wang Xian waved his hand, and all the purple liquid landed in front of him. Such a majestic force of lightning. I can absorb it directly. Not bad. Wang Xian revealed a smile and kept it. He then looked at the thunderbolt tree above. He flew over and kept it in the dragon palace. There are quite a lot of treasures here. Continue. Wang Xian continued flying forward. In the following month, he found quite a number of treasures and captured hundreds of desolate beasts. And there's a huge tree ahead. What a dense force of lightning. On this day, Wang Xian suddenly saw a towering purple tree while he was flying within the thunderclouds. The huge tree was bathed in lightning and looked exceptionally sacred. His eyes lit up as he approached it immediately. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Just before he got close, he heard a familiar chirp. Thundercloud vulture. He squinted his eyes, hid himself, and continued flying forward. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Crackle. Just as he was about to fly over, an inescapable net came crashing down on him. The lightning net formed by the lightning emitted a terrifying aura. This surprised Wang Xian a little. He had actually been discovered. The desolate beasts within the thunderclouds are really strong. The desolate beasts on the mountain peak that I can't sense can detect my thundercloud vulture and even prepared an inescapable net to attack me. Wang Xian thought to himself as the unbeginning sacred wings on his back flapped. Waves of wind and lightning surged towards the surroundings, and the net of lightning that enveloped him dissipated immediately. Chirp, chirp, chirp. At this time, a hurried chirp was heard as a lightning cross attacked Wang Xian. The attack of a rank 9 universe supremacy, Thundercloud Vulture. And there are 2 of them. Wang Xian looked ahead with a cold look in his eyes. He waved his palm, and the 5 elements grindstone flew out and clashed with the lightning cross. Bam! The 5 elements grindstone flew over, and the entire lightning cross collapsed. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The two rank 9 universe supremacy thundercloud vultures were fearful and frightened when they saw this. They quickly flew towards the thunderbolt tree behind them. Wang Xian squinted his eyes when he saw them flying up the tree. He moved and immediately gave chase. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The two thundercloud vultures that landed on the tree raised their heads and let out a hurried chirp. The densely packed thundercloud vultures flew towards the purple tree. So many? Wang Xian looked over and was taken aback. There were a total of 700 to 800 thundercloud vultures standing on the purple tree. They were staring at Wang Xian with murderous eyes. From the rank 1 universe supremacy to the rank 9 universe supremacy, there were all kinds of them. Swish. Wang Xian's eyes lit up, and he came to the front of the purple tree instantly. The moment he stepped into the purple tree, a purple lightning shield enveloped the entire tree. Bam! Wang Xian's figure collided with the shield, and a loud bang was heard. The lightning shield did not move an inch. This is? He raised an eyebrow and slammed his palm heavily on it. Bam! A huge rebound force came, causing his expression to change slightly, and he was sent flying backward. It's a blessed enclave, a defensive blessed enclave, and it even has the ability to rebound. His expression changed slightly and he frowned. Chapter 3384. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The group of thundercloud vultures let out mocking sounds when they sensed Wang Xian retreating. I didn't expect this tree to be a grotto heaven. How peculiar. Wang Xian flew a circle around the purple tree and mumbled to himself. Boom. He gave it a try and a powerful force blasted at the purple tree again. Bam. The powerful attack was reflected, and he hurriedly dodged to the distance. The defense is strong. I reckon even a First-Order Universe Lord's attack can't break the defense of this grotto heaven. Wang Xian's expression changed slightly. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Dozens of thundercloud vultures were flying on top of the purple tree, staring at him and letting out chirps. Their voices were unusually messy and ear-piercing. Clearly, they were mocking him. Hee hee, you bunch of thundercloud vultures, don't get too cocky. Wang Xian's eyes flashed coldly. The AI immediately informed Enlai. After receiving Enlai's reply, Wang Xian set up a devil spiritual altar. Dragon King. Enlai appeared and bowed to Wang Xian. Bring me in. Wang Xian pointed to the front and said, Yes, Dragon King. Enlai nodded. His figure flashed and instantly disappeared. He entered a branch of the purple tree. After placing a devil spiritual altar, he immediately returned to Wang Xian's side. 5 elements grindstone, 5 elements heaven and earth. Wang Xian waved his arm and the 5 elements grindstone flew above the purple tree. A grayish energy enveloped the entire purple tree. Let's go! Wang Xian shouted. In the next moment he entered the purple tree. Chirp, 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 chirp. The group of thundercloud vultures cried out in confusion when they saw Wang Xian disappearing. Let's see where you beasts can run to now. Wang Xian's emotionless voice rang in the minds of every thundercloud vulture. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Upon hearing this sound, the feathers of the 2 rank 9 universe venerable realm thundercloud vultures bristled and their eyes were filled with fear. Boom. In the next moment, Wang Xian appeared beside one of the thundercloud vultures and punched. Bam. The massive force immediately caused the thundercloud vulture to land heavily on the purple tree. Large amounts of blood flowed from its mouth. Chain of wind and thunder. Wang Xian let out a low growl. Countless chains on his back struck towards the thundercloud vultures. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp, chirp. At this moment, all the thundercloud vultures let out terrified cries as they flapped their wings in an attempt to escape. However, in the narrow space of the grotto heaven, they couldn't avoid Wang Xian's attack at all. Chains after chains bound them. Wang Xian pulled with his arm. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Wang Xian easily captured 700 to 800 thundercloud vultures, of which there were 12 thundercloud vultures with universe venerable level 7 battle strength and above. Not bad, not bad. The harvest this time is much greater than the entire thundercloud vulture of the Thunder Ray tribe. A smile appeared on his face. The thunder light race only had a few dozen thundercloud vultures. His harvest this time was 10 times that of theirs. After keeping it, Wang Xian checked out the grotto heaven and blessed land. The purple tree should be able to bear some fruits, but there were none on the tree. It was possible that the thundercloud vulture had devoured them. Continue. After exiting, he continued to fly forward. Next, he flew within the thunderclouds and collected the treasures one by one. Along the way, he came across another grotto heaven. It was a grotto heaven with a strong offensive power. There was a race of thunder ape living in that grotto heaven. There were tens of thousands of them, and the strongest among them was a universe venerable level 9 battle strength. Initially, Wang Xian thought it would be a huge harvest. He didn't expect them to occupy such a powerful grotto heaven. That terrifying offensive power had injured Wang Xian with just a single strike. He didn't dare to linger any longer and fled immediately. This also made him understand why the Thunder Light race hadn't completely occupied the Thunderclouds region. It wasn't just because they weren't strong enough, but also because of the powerful Grotto Heaven. Just like the Grotto Heaven where the Thundercloud vultures were, the Thunder Light race couldn't do anything about it, let alone this Grotto Heaven with terrifying offensive power. If it wasn't for Wang Xian's fast speed, there was a 50% chance that an ordinary Pinnacle Universe Venerable would be killed. I'll leave after searching for another 2 months. Wang Xian looked at the time and thought to himself. It had been half a year since he entered this place. Let's see if I can get some treasures in the remaining time. He moved his body and continued to fly forward. Buzz buzz. After flying for half an hour, the unbeginning sacred wings on his back suddenly trembled. Wang Xian shifted his body and looked to the right. In that direction, he sensed a strong suction force from the lightning. This suction force shocked him. What level of treasure is this? He mumbled to himself and immediately flew to his right. Before he could get close, a series of roars could be heard. The horrifying roars made Wang Xian's expression change slightly. This is? He lowered his speed and tried his best to hide his figure as he approached slowly. Soon, a thunder ape that was 10,000 meters in size appeared in his sight. On the left of the thunder ape was a thundercloud vulture that was 100 meters in size. On the right was a purple thunder snake that was a few thousand meters in size. On the head of the thunder serpent was a huge thunder horn. Thunder runes floated above the thunder horn. The 3 wild beasts faced each other from a distance and stared at each other coldly and warily. Around them, there were many corpses. The corpses of these wild beasts still had powerful auras. Wild beasts with the combat strength of a Pinnacle Universe supremacy. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and exclaimed in his heart. He immediately looked to the center of them. At the center of them, there was a strong thunder force on the ground. This thunder force made Wang Xian unusually fearful. He was sure that if he were to get close to it, he would be pierced through. The 3 Pinnacle Universe supremacy wild beasts looked over from time to time with desire and passion in their eyes. Is this the emergence of an innate spiritual treasure or the birth of a universe dominator level divine grass and divine tree? Wang Xian stared at it closely and his eyes flickered. At this time, the purple thunder snake suddenly let out a roar and coiled its body slightly. Roar roar. Chirp chirp. The thunder ape and thundercloud vulture stared at it with fear and growled, unwilling to show weakness. That purple thunder snake is very strong. No. The thunder horn on its head wasn't grown. It's a horrifying treasure. Wang Xian also looked at the purple thunder snake with astonishment. Chapter 3385, Roar. Seeing Wang Xian charging towards it, the purple lightning snake stared at him coldly. It grabbed at the inborn spiritual treasure and attacked its surroundings indiscriminately. The lightning horns formed by the lightning bolts shuttled through the space. Bam bam bam. Now that Wang Xian was within its attack range, he could only use his energy to defend himself. The thunder horn's attack landed on his body, causing his speed to plummet. What a cunning fellow! Wang Xian's eyes darkened. He shook his body and transformed into his divine dragon form. 9-colored radiance surged towards the surroundings. Wang Xian swept his dragon tail towards the countless lightning horns. Seeing Wang Xian, the purple lightning snake had a tinge of fear in its eyes. It lifted its tail and collided with the dragon tail. Bam bam bam. Horrifying collisions resounded. 9-colored dragon pillar. Wang Xian roared. 9 elemental dragon pillars appeared around him and blasted towards the purple lightning snake. The purple lightning snake roared and released its ultimate move. A purple snakehead shadow with a lightning horn appeared above it. The purple snakehead contained horrifying lightning bolts as it charged towards the 9-colored dragon pillar. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The horrifying collisions made the entire space look exceptionally horrifying. At the side, the 5 elements grindstone and 2 pinnacle supremacy realm wild beasts were engaged in battle. That kind of heart-palpitating, raging energy caused a large portion of the surrounding black clouds to disappear. Swoosh! Wang Xian looked at the collisions in the sky. He swayed his body and flapped his unbeginning sacred wings to attack the purple lightning snake instantly. Boom! Wang Xian opened his dragon mouth and a grayish annihilation river attacked the purple lightning snake. The purple lightning snake also opened its mouth and spat out sparks of lightning. Boom! In terms of attacking power, the purple lightning snake was not afraid of Wang Xian at all with the enhancement of the inborn spiritual treasure lightning horn. Swoosh! Behind him, the wind and thunder power of the unbeginning sacred wings enveloped Wang Xian. He swayed his dragon body and instantly came to the right of the purple lightning snake. The purple lightning snake quickly turned its head and stared at Wang Xian with vigilance. Bam! However, at this moment, Wang Xian's massive dragon tail swept towards the purple lightning snake at an even faster speed. Bam! The huge sweeping force caused a large amount of blood to appear on the purple lightning snake's body as it flew to the side. Roar! The purple lightning snake's eyes were filled with shock and anger. Roar! Wang Xian roared as well. In an instant, he came to the back of the purple thunder snake and grabbed at it with his dragon claws. On the lightning horn on the purple lightning snake's head, a lightning symbol met the dragon's claw. Boom! The thunder and lightning symbols exploded. Wang Xian felt the power and immediately flapped his unbeginning saint wings to flee. I'd like to see how long you can last. Wang Xian bellowed coldly. He swayed his dragon body and charged forward again. Roar! The purple thunder snake, who had been suppressed and defending passively, stared at Wang Xian with fear in its eyes. Roar! In the next moment, its body was covered in lightning as it charged towards the connate numinous treasure. Its huge body turned into a terrifying snake, bursting forth with its strongest speed. Comparing speed? When Wang Xian saw it charging towards the inborn spiritual treasure, his eyes were filled with mockery. Swoosh! At this moment, Wang Xian's speed was even faster. He reached out his dragon claws and grabbed at the inborn spiritual treasure. Got it? Wang Xian's speed wasn't something the purple thunder snake could match. He reached out his dragon claws and grabbed the inborn spiritual treasure. Got it? However, at this moment, Wang Xian suddenly sensed a horrifying attack coming from behind. A pitch-black lightning horn burrowed into Wang Xian's body. Bam! The immense force immediately penetrated Wang Xian's defense and drilled through his dragon scales, causing a huge amount of blood to splatter out. Courting death, Wang Xian felt an excruciating pain from his body and immediately turned around. The purple thunder snake stuck out its tongue and let out a chilling sound. It flew to the side and its body turned illusory. You beast! You're courting death! Wang Xian stared at the disappearing body of the purple thunder snake with murderous intent. The purple thunder snake's final attack was obviously well prepared. It knows that its speed isn't as fast as mine. Hence, it charged over to prepare to attack me. Do you think you'll be fine after escaping back to your nest? Wang Xian stared at the spot where the purple thunder snake disappeared with a stern look. Chirp chirp. Roar roar. At the side, the thundercloud vulture and thundermale ape let out anxious cries when they saw Wang Xian getting the inborn spiritual treasure and the purple thunder snake escaping. They quickly flew to the back, set up a defense, and left immediately. Wang Xian swept his gaze across and ignored them. He reached out his dragon claws. The 5 elements grindstone flew into his hand and disappeared into his body instantly. Wang Xian's eyes fell on the inborn spiritual treasure. As for the specific attack methods of the bell-like inborn spiritual treasure, he would only know after refining it. Crackle, crackle. Wang Xian didn't refine it immediately. He took a look at the huge wound on his body and a bolt of lightning darted out from his dragon horns. The bolt of lightning flew in a direction. Wang Xian reverted to his human form, flapped his wings, and followed behind the bolt of lightning. As the bolt of lightning flew, it also started to turn illusory. Wang Xian was replenishing its energy before it disappeared. This was searching for enemies in the void. When Wang Xian was fighting with the purple thunder snake, he had already integrated the searching for enemies in the void of unbeginning sacred wings into his attacks. Now, he was going to use this technique to chase after the purple thunder snake. That cunning purple thunder snake had completely infuriated Wang Xian. Knowing that it couldn't get the inborn spiritual treasure, it still schemed against Wang Xian. It had to pay the price. Searching for enemies in the void wasn't omnipotent. If the distance was too far, it would require constant energy support. Moreover, once the purple thunder snake cleared the wind and thunder power that Wang Xian had left in its body, it would lose the ability to chase after Wang Xian. Therefore, Wang Xian didn't linger and chased after it at the fastest speed. He wanted to kill the purple thunder snake. Of course, there was another reason. The thunder horn on the head of the purple thunder snake was also an inborn spiritual treasure. An inborn spiritual treasure was enough for him to try. I hope the nest of the purple thunder snake isn't in an attack type or recovery type grotto heaven. Wang Xian was like a terrifying bolt of lightning as he shuttled through the thunderclouds at high speed. The effect of searching for enemies in the void hadn't disappeared yet. This made Wang Xian's eyes shine brightly. Time passed day by day and Wang Xian had traversed a long distance in the interior. For days later, the lightning in front of him suddenly glowed. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and looked ahead. He had arrived. Chapter 3386. Just as Wang Xian had expected, this purple thunder snake had its own grotto heaven. With the strength of a pinnacle universe venerable and an inborn spiritual treasure, this guy could definitely occupy a grotto heaven. In front of him, there were many purple thunder snakes in a purple lake. The lake water was purple in color and was formed by the condensed power of lightning. There was a cave in the middle of the lake. This should be a grotto heaven that can aid in cultivation. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and scanned the surroundings. The entire lightning lake wasn't huge, spanning only a few billion kilometers. There were tens of thousands of purple thunder snakes in the lake. Most of them were no weaker than a 3rd or 4th stage universe venerable. This was a powerful wild beast race. And that purple thunder snake was the king of the purple thunder snake race. The lair of the purple thunder snakes is here. Let's see where you can run to now. Wang Xian's eyes were cold. He moved and flew towards the sky above the lightning lake. He flew to a very high position to avoid the detection of all the purple thunder snakes. Wang Xian moved his palm and the 5 elements grind appeared above him. Boom! In the next instant, the entire 5 elements grind expanded rapidly and covered a radius of a few billion kilometers. Wang Xian transformed into his divine dragon form and swooped down with the 5 elements grind. Boom boom boom. Waves of incomparably terrifying energy rushed towards the lightning lake. At this moment, all the purple thunder snakes in the lake trembled and looked up at the sky in horror. They let out fearful cries. At this moment, the purple thunder snake king with a single horn emerged from the entrance of the lake. When it saw Wang Xian in the sky, its eyes were filled with shock and anger. Why did this creature come after me? How did it return to its lair in an instant? How did he know the location of its lair? Sensing the aura from Wang Xian and the 5 elements grind, it was a little anxious. Saintly dragon shadow. Wang Xian let out a deep roar and charged downwards. Seeing Wang Xian attacking, the purple thunder snake lifted its head. The thunder horn on its head released a terrifying power of lightning and charged upwards. Boom boom boom. A terrifying collision sound rang out. However, at this moment, The 5 elements grindstone above sent down a long river of destruction that swept downwards. Hiss hiss hiss. Hiss hiss hiss. The rest of the weaker purple thunder snakes roared in horror. Against the attacks of Wang Xian and their Snake King, they could not withstand the horrifying repercussions. In an instant, a large number of purple lightning snakes died. When the purple lightning Snake King sensed this, its eyes were filled with rage. As its body stirred, the surrounding lightning lake water rose up and condensed into the shape of its body. Then, it attacked the Annihilation River. As it moved, a large number of purple lightning snakes around it were affected and killed instantly. However, at this moment, the purple lightning Snake King couldn't care less. Desolate beasts were desolate beasts because they only had instincts. They only knew how to hunt, eat, and fight. They didn't have much intelligence. Hee hee, I will kill you today, you bastard. Seeing its attack, Wang Xian's face turned cold. With the help of the 5 elements grindstone, he was 100% confident that he could kill a pinnacle supremacy expert. Even if the other party had an inborn spiritual treasure. Towering Dragon Horn. Wang Xian bellowed. The dragon horn condensed towering 9-colored radiance and blasted downwards. The attack of the purple lightning Snake King could only break the Annihilation River of the 5 elements grindstone. The attack of the 9-colored towering dragon horn instantly landed on the head of the purple lightning Snake King. Roar. The purple lightning Snake King let out a low growl and its eyes were filled with fear. It lifted its head and met the attack with its thunder horn. Boom boom boom. Terrifying collisions resounded and a large amount of blood flowed out of its head. Roar. In an instant, Wang Xian had already arrived beside it and clawed at it. Swoosh. The purple lightning Snake King swayed its huge body and flung it at Wang Xian. Bam. Wang Xian's dragon tail swept across and collided with it. Bam bam bam. As it attacked, the attacks of the 5 elements grindstone also landed on its body. Large amounts of blood spurted out from its body and various wounds appeared. Hiss hiss hiss. The purple lightning Snake King's eyes were filled with fear. It swayed its huge body and wanted to escape. It knew that it was definitely no match for Wang Xian. In fact, it would not take long for it to be killed. However, it was daydreaming if it wanted to escape. Swoosh. Wang Xian's body flickered and appeared in front of the purple lightning Snake King instantly. He opened his mouth and spat out various torrents of energy. The 5 elements grindstone also released waves of attacks and completely engulfed the purple lightning Snake King. Hiss hiss hiss. The purple lightning Snake King sensed the terrifying attacks around it. Its body trembled and was covered with lightning. The surrounding lake water surged towards it to protect its body. Bam bam bam. However, the powerful attacks still broke through its defense and caused many wounds on its body. Hiss hiss hiss. The purple lightning Snake King screamed. Its cold eyes were filled with fear as it curled up and hissed at Wang Xian. Is it surrendering? There aren't many wild beasts that surrender. Wang Xian raised an eyebrow when he saw the purple thunder Snake King roaring nonstop. The savagery of the dire beasts was greater than their rationality. They would usually rather die in battle than beg for mercy. However, this purple lightning Snake King clearly wanted to live. It was rare but not that strange. Firstly, Wang Xian's strength was much stronger than it. The might of the divine dragon coupled with his powerful strength had suppressed it completely and made it submit to him. Secondly, the purple lightning serpent king possessed a connate numinous treasure. The primordial numinous treasure had a spirit and could develop intelligence. Under the influence of the primordial numinous treasure, it might have gained some intelligence. Submit? Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he stared at the purple thunder Snake King with hesitation. Speaking of which, Wang Xian wasn't too concerned about its submission. If he killed it, the heavenly array could be raised to the peak of the universe supremacy level. Given his strength, it would not be a problem for him to fight 1 against 3. It would be difficult for the purple lightning Snake King to fight 1 against 2. And this was under the condition that they were relying on connate numinous treasures. At this time, the purple lightning snake in front of them lowered its head and kept swallowing. Forget it, I'll just subdue it and make it a mount. He thought for a moment and made up his mind. Chapter 3387, Rumble. In the lightning lake, Wang Xian's body shook as a strong pressure shrouded the purple lightning snake king. Since he was going to suppress it, he had to tame it completely. The purple lightning snake king laid on the ground with its head lowered. It didn't take long to tame and suppress it. It was done within half an hour. The purple lightning snake king crawled in front of Wang Xian and swayed its body. Let's go. Bring me to your lair and see if there are any treasures. Wang Xian patted it on the head and ordered. The purple lightning snake king nodded its head and swam towards the entrance of the cave. He kept all the corpses that had died because of their battle. As soon as Wang Xian entered the cave, he immediately sensed a majestic force of lightning. This was a place where lightning cultivators could improve rapidly. The lair of the purple lightning snake king was in the depths of the cave. The purple lightning snake king brought him in and stuck out its tongue. There aren't any treasures in there? Wang Xian looked inside, frowned slightly, and transmitted a message to it. The purple lightning snake king shook its head, indicating that it had absorbed all its treasures. This made Wang Xian speechless. A king of a race didn't have any treasures. At this time, the purple lightning snake king stuck out its tongue at him and a message was sent to his mind. It transmitted an image of the thunder male ape. The thunder male ape was lying on a mountain peak and exuding a strong aura. You mean? You know where the lair of the thunder male ape is? Wang Xian asked the purple lightning snake king in surprise. The purple lightning snake king nodded its head and replied immediately. Oh, bring me there now. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he ordered it immediately. The purple lightning snake king responded immediately. It lowered its head and asked Wang Xian to stand on it. Wang Xian leaped onto it with a swift movement. Roar. It let out a deep roar and dashed out quickly. Wang Xian took out the vitality fluid and sprinkled it on its wounds to heal its injuries rapidly. This caused the purple lightning snake king to let out an excited cheer and increase its speed. Wang Xian stood on its head and shuttled across the land rapidly. When the surrounding desolate beasts saw the purple lightning snake king, they immediately hid far away. Having such a powerful battle pet is quite impressive, Su Ping said. Wang Xian chuckled. With a flick of his palm, the innate spiritual treasure that looked like a huge bell appeared in his hand. Inborn spiritual treasures were extremely useful to Wang Xian as they could increase his attacking power significantly. After injecting energy into it, a stream of information immediately appeared. The bell was called the Khanate Thunderbell. It was a powerful offensive spirit treasure. He could unleash powerful attacks such as innate thunder roar and thunderbell explosion. To Wang Xian, this was not a weak weapon. I'll refine it for now. If I have the chance, I'll sell it and exchange it for resources to improve my strength. Wang Xian thought to himself. He stood on the head of the purple thunder snake king and began refining it. The purple lightning snake king brought him through the thunderclouds quickly. The lair of the thunder male ape was not near, so they flew for half a month. This was also the reason why the speed of the purple thunder snake king was much slower than Wang Xian. After half a month, the purple thunder snake king stuck its tongue out at him and sent a message. Have we arrived? Wang Xian squinted his eyes and looked at the Khanate Thunderbell in front of him. He had already refined a portion of the Thunderbell. He would still need another 1 or 2 months to fully refine it. He lifted his head and scanned the surroundings. Over here, there were many mountains that were bathed in the lightning. As far as the eye could see, there were endless mountains. The purple thunder snake king stared in one direction and sent a message. Wang Xian looked in the direction it was looking at and his eyes flickered. That mountain peak was obviously very different from the surrounding mountains. The entire mountain was even more purple as it bathed in the lightning and emitted a purple glow. Wang Xian could vaguely see a huge body lying on the peak of the mountain. You can go over later. Wang Xian moved. The unbeginning sacred wings appeared on his back and the 5 elements grindstone hovered in the air. His figure flickered and he disappeared. In the next moment, he came to the sky above the thunder male ape lying on the mountain. A recuperative grotto heaven. Wang Xian judged as he sensed the energy coming from the mountain below. 8 barren dragon eyes. In the next moment, he turned into a divine dragon without any hesitation and attacked the thunder male ape with chains. When Wang Xian made his move, the thunder male ape, who was lying on the mountain and bathing in the lightning, opened its eyes. It moved its palm and a lightning pillar appeared on its palm. It smashed towards Wang Xian. Purple Thunder Snake King, do it? Wang Xian shouted and the 5 elements grindstone met the attack of the lightning pillar. Bam! The lightning pillar collided with the 5 elements grindstone and collapsed instantly. The power of the 5 elements grindstone continued sweeping towards the thunder male ape. Upon seeing this, the thunder male ape went berserk. Its eyes seemed to be overflowing with blood. Bam bam bam. It patted its chest forcefully and the sound was like a drum. Bolts of lightning blasted towards the surroundings. At this moment, the purple thunder snake king charged over. A huge lightning radiance was released from its thunder horn and struck towards the thunder male ape. The purple thunder snake king was not weak. In fact, it could even suppress the thunder male ape by itself. Under such circumstances, with Wang Xian and the 5 elements grindstone, the thunder male ape did not have any strength to resist. 5 elements annihilation dragon claw. Wang Xian let out a deep roar and charged over. The 5 divine dragons on the 5 elements grindstone roared and bolts of elemental energy blasted towards it. When the thunder male ape saw the attacks, its face was filled with shock and anger. Boom! With a wave of its arm, a lightning mountain flew over. It hugged the lightning mountain and smashed it towards Wang Xian and the rest. Bam bam! The lightning mountain was extremely sturdy. However, it was easily shattered into pieces under the attacks of Wang Xian and the rest. Kill it! Wang Xian did not show any mercy as he ordered the purple thunder snake king. Roar! The purple thunder snake king responded immediately. After being subdued, it attacked the thunder male ape with all its might. The attacks of Wang Xian and the 5 elements grindstone arrived at the same time. The thunder male ape waved its arm again and smashed the lightning mountains towards them. Bam bam bam. But soon, a continuous stream of energy fell on its body. The nest of the thunder male ape was here. Therefore, it could not escape even if it wanted to. The battle against the thunder male ape was very easy. Chapter 3388. The raging thunder male ape attacked the purple thunder snake king with all its might. It was covered in blood and its eyes were filled with madness. Its ferocious nature was unleashed. Unlike the begging of the purple thunder snake king, its body seemed to be boiling as it fought with all its might. Die! Wang Xian bellowed as the dragon claw landed heavily on its body. The destructive power caused its body to tremble violently as it fell to the ground. The great grindstone of the 5 elements pressed down on its body, completely destroying it. A thunder male ape at the pinnacle of the universe venerable realm was not even a match for the purple thunder snake king, let alone Wang Xian and the rest. As the nest of the thunder male ape was here, it could not escape and was easily killed. In less than 5 minutes, let's go take a look at its nest. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the corpse of the thunder male ape and kept it with a wave of his arm. Subsequently, he entered the nest of the thunder male ape. There are quite a number of treasures in its nest. There are even a few acquired cardinal treasures. Wang Xian's eyes lit up as he entered. There were some rank 8 and rank 9 venerable fruits, 3 lightning-attributed acquired cardinal treasures, and over a dozen acquired spiritual treasures. Its nest was much more than that of the purple thunder snake king. Not bad, not bad. This is a great harvest. Wang Xian was satisfied. The corpse of the thunder male ape could enhance the strength of the heaven array. These divine fruits could also enhance Wang Xian significantly. Moreover, these acquired cardinal treasures could be exchanged for a lot of resources. It's been almost a year. It's time to go back. Wang Xian collected his treasures and stood at the peak of the mountain. He looked at the time and mumbled to himself with a smile. He had gained a lot over the past year. With great strength, it would be easier to get some resources. Buzz buzz. At this time, his universe AI vibrated. It was a message from Lei Jingyun, Lei Yunzi, and the rest. The celebration for the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light race would be held soon. This celebration was a huge event for the disciples of the Thunder Light race. All disciples had to attend the celebration for the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light race unless there were special circumstances. At that time, the elders and attendants of the race would also rush over. Let's go back. Wang Xian looked at the purple Thunder Snake King and waved his arm. The Serpent King let out a cry and entered the nest. Wang Xian moved and flew towards the direction of the Thunder Ray race. Speeding through the thunder clouds, Wang Xian's flight was a little unbridled. Even the Thunder Ray tribe's patriarch, Grand Elder, and the others might not dare to fly so fearlessly in this place. 10 days later, Wang Xian came to the front of the Thunder Ray tribe's territory. He lowered his speed and concealed his other attributes. He regained his identity as the eldest senior brother. However, how could the disciples of the Thunder Light tribe know that their first senior brother had subdued a peak universe supremacy desolate beast and killed it during his trip out? If the Thunder Light race knew about this, the entire race would be in an uproar. Thinking of this, he smiled and continued to fly inside. When he arrived at the location of the teleportation array, he immediately teleported to the mountain peak where the disciples of the Thunder Light tribe lived. Back in the palace, Wang Xian told Lei Jingyun, Lei Yunzi, and the other girls about his return. Within the lightning race, his relationship with these girls was considered to be slightly better. Of course, this was only limited to a few interactions. 3 more days. He looked at the time of the celebration banquet and laid on the bed for a rest. This time, he had been away for close to a year. He hadn't rested for a day, so he slept for a while out of habit. Eldest senior brother. 10 hours later, a shout came from outside. Wang Xian opened his eyes and stretched his body. Come in. After saying that, he walked into the main hall and prepared some tea. Eldest senior brother, you are really hard-working in your cultivation. You are already so strong, but you are still in seclusion every day. Outside, 4th senior sister, Lei Jingyun, Lei Yunzi, and a few other girls walked in and spoke to Wang Xian with smiles. No, I just went to the thunderclouds for training and just came back. Take a seat. Wang Xian looked at them and smiled faintly. Eldest senior brother, your celebration banquet is about to begin. We have helped you with the arrangements. If you have any needs, we can help you. 4th senior sister said to Wang Xian. Within the Thunder Light race, the eldest senior brother of every generation would have many disciples who idolized and followed him. In addition, he had the authority to order the other disciples. Most of the basic matters would be settled by the disciples. It's all right. You guys can do as you see fit. Wang Xian replied nonchalantly. He wasn't too affected by the identity of the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light race. Oh yes, do you need me to do anything for this celebration banquet? He asked. Under normal circumstances, eldest senior brother would give some guidance to some disciples and impart some cultivation insights. Nothing else. 4th senior sister answered. All right. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly and looked at the 8 female disciples of the Thunder Light race. I was lucky this time and caught a few thundercloud vultures. I'll give one to each of you. As he spoke, he waved his arm and 8 thundercloud vultures appeared in front of him. Huh? Thundercloud vultures? Eldest senior brother. Lei Jingyun, Lei Yunzi, and the other girls were stunned as they looked at the thundercloud vultures in front of them. The 8 thundercloud vultures corresponded to their current cultivation levels. There was even a thundercloud vulture with the combat strength of a level 7 universe venerable. They were lying there motionlessly. Clearly, they had been completely suppressed. All they needed to do was to spend some time or ask the elders to tame them. In the chaotic continent, there was no need for specialized beast tamers to tame war pets. This was because they could use their powerful bloodline and physique to suppress them. In the past, one of the main reasons why Wang Xian could tame dire beasts so easily was because of the divine dragon bloodline. A level 7 universe venerable thundercloud vulture. Eldest senior brother, you? You can actually suppress such a level. That's amazing. Fourth senior sister looked at the thundercloud vulture in shock and found it unbelievable. To capture a level 7 universe venerable thundercloud vulture, one would need at least the strength of a level 9 universe venerable. Yet, eldest senior brother could suppress it. His strength had gotten even stronger? Wow, this thundercloud vulture is just right for me. Eldest senior brother, you're amazing. Amazing. Lei Jingyun cheered excitedly. The thundercloud vulture was a war pet that she had been yearning for. She did not expect Wang Xian to give her one. Thank you, eldest senior brother. Thank you, eldest senior brother. Lei Yunzi and the other girls also expressed their gratitude excitedly. A thundercloud vulture. Chapter 3389. Let's tame them and use them as battle pets. Wang Xian said with a smile as he looked at their excited expressions. Currently, he had over 800 thundercloud condors with him. Among them, there were 12 universe venerables with level 7 combat power and above. He wasn't going to use these 12. He was going to give the rest to the Thunder Light tribe. This was also a form of repayment for the Thunder Light tribe's kindness. Thank you, eldest senior brother. Eldest senior brother, did you encounter the nest of the thundercloud condors this time? How did you get so many thundercloud condors? You even managed to capture a level 7 universe venerable thundercloud condor. Fourth senior sister asked in astonishment. He had given each of them a thundercloud condor of a corresponding strength. This meant that the number of thundercloud condors he had captured was definitely more than this. Yeah, I was lucky to capture some. Wang Xian nodded his head plainly. This isn't just luck. Eldest senior brother is also very strong. Fourth senior sister exclaimed. Wang Xian chuckled and chatted with them for a while. Soon, the group of girls left. Let's go and look for the deacons to help us tame the thundercloud condors. The 8 female disciples went to look for their elders and deacons to help them tame the thundercloud condors. Wang Xian had nothing to do in the palace. He took out the universe AI and browsed through it. 2 days passed in the blink of an eye. This day was a relatively grand occasion for the disciples of the Thunder Light tribe. The banquet for the new eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe would be held today. They were filled with admiration and shock towards this new eldest senior brother. This was also an unprecedented eldest senior brother of the Thunder Light tribe. He had joined the Thunder Ray race for less than 2 years before the 20th epoch, yet he had already defeated their former eldest senior brother and become the eldest senior brother. This had truly shocked everyone. His identity as a purebred divine dragon made him even more powerful and mysterious. The huge field was set up as a banquet venue at the resting area of the Thunder Light tribe. Countless disciples had gathered here. Some deacons had also rushed over. Is eldest senior brother Wang Xian really that strong? He became the eldest senior brother not long after joining the Thunder Light tribe? Thunder Dragon? I heard that he's a disciple of the dragon ancestors' bloodline. Why did he join our Thunder Ray race? The leader of the ancestral dragon has said that the disciples of the ancestral dragon lineage won't gather unless there's a sovereign expert. Regardless of whether there's a sovereign expert in the ancestral dragon lineage or not, it'll only be beneficial for us if big senior brother Wang Xian joins us. Moreover, I heard that even the clan leader values him highly. I wonder when eldest senior brother will arrive. I heard that after he was promoted to eldest senior brother, he can choose any treasures in our tribe's treasure vault. The crowd of disciples saw the elders appearing in front of them. They discussed softly. They're here. At this time, the group of elders who were chatting and laughing suddenly lifted their heads and looked up. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The thundercloud vulture's chirp attracted the attention of all the other disciples instantly. That's Thundercloud Vulture? Thundercloud Vulture with the combat strength of a rank 7 universe venerable? What's going on? Fourth senior sister Lei Yunzi, junior sister Lei Jin, and the rest have a Thundercloud Vulture each? 8 Thundercloud Vultures? So powerful? I didn't hear that fourth senior sister and the rest have Thundercloud Vultures as their war pets. Shocked voices came from the crowd of disciples as they looked over in astonishment. Thundercloud vultures could be said to be the war pet that all the disciples and experts in the entire Thunderlight tribe coveted the most. However, she was scarce. Coupled with its incredible speed and alertness, the entire Thunderlight tribe only had dozens of Thundercloud vultures as their war pets. Now that fourth senior sister and the rest had arrived on Thundercloud vultures, all the disciples were shocked beyond words. That's the eldest senior brother. Soon, someone's gaze fell on Wang Xian in the middle as he exclaimed. Most of the disciples focused their attention on Wang Xian. Wang Xian scanned across the crowd of disciples and revealed a smile. He landed at the spot where the elders were and cupped his fists. Elders, he called out to them, we'll just watch from here. You're the star of today's show. Say something to the disciples. The great elder looked at Wang Xian with a smile and gestured. Chapter 3390. Junior Brothers, I'm Wang Xian and I'll be your eldest senior brother from now on. Wang Xian stood in front of the group of elders and looked ahead. Tens of millions of disciples stood there and looked at him as he introduced himself. Greetings, eldest senior brother. Tens of millions of disciples greeted him respectfully when they heard him. The status of the eldest senior brother was comparable to an elder in the Thunder Ray tribe. None of the disciples dared to act presumptuously in front of the eldest senior brother. Even the elders of some disciples were elders or even the tribe leader. In the Thunder Ray tribe, there was no such thing as young tribe leader or daughter of the tribe leader. There were only eldest senior brothers and eldest senior sisters. This title represented status and authority. If you encounter any problems in the future, feel free to look for me. Wang Xian nodded his head plainly. Senior brother, if you were to challenge him today, he would be disgraced. A few middle-aged men whispered to Lei Yuntian through telepathy when they saw the awe-inspiring Wang Xian on the stage. Lei Yuntian smiled faintly without saying a word. Since Wang Xian was highly regarded by the tribe leader and the rest, he wouldn't embarrass him too much. It was especially so on an occasion like today. Today is my first day as the eldest senior brother of the Thunder Ray tribe. I'll take out some things as a wager. Whoever can get them can take them away. At this time, Wang Xian's voice continued. All the disciples revealed faint smiles and were looking forward to what would happen next. This is eldest senior brother's first day as the eldest senior brother. He should be able to take out some decent items. Some disciples thought to themselves, I have some dire beasts that I can tame as my war pets. Wang Xian stood on the stage and waved his arm. In an instant, the dire beasts that were locked up in the thunder cage landed at the side. There were about 1,500 cages, and each cage contained a dire beast. However, when Wang Xian waved his hand and the 1,500 cages appeared in front of all the disciples, they were taken aback and their eyes widened in disbelief. Boom. SSS, what's going on? Gosh, what's going on? Dire beasts? Thundercloud vultures. Why are there so many thundercloud vultures? Gosh, more than 1,000 desolate beasts. There are actually more than 1,000 desolate beasts. There should be at least 800 thundercloud vultures, right? Everyone from the Thunderlight race was stunned for a few seconds. In the next moment, they erupted. When they heard what Wang Xian said, they thought Big Senior Brother would take some elixir pills. He would use some acquired spiritual treasures that his disciples could use as a wager. But now, he had taken out more than 1,500 dire beasts. What shocked them the most was that there were more than 800 thundercloud vultures among them. To every disciple, this was no less than an acquired treasure. All the disciples of the Thunderlight tribe knew the value of the thundercloud vulture. Gifting 800 of them to the disciples present? This, unimaginable. This, fourth senior sister, Lei Yun, Lei Jingyun, and the other girls who had already received thundercloud vultures were also stunned. Their eyes widened as they stared blankly at Wang Xian. They were not surprised that Wang Xian still had thundercloud vultures. But this number, there are 20 Universe Venerable Level 7 thundercloud vultures. At this moment, Lei Jingyun and the current third senior brother of the Thunderlight tribe, who were at the forefront, shuddered. 20 Universe Venerable Level 7 thundercloud vultures. These were captured by him? To them, it was already Wang Xian's luck to be able to capture a Universe Venerable Level 7 Thundercloud Vulture. But now, there were a total of 20. If this big senior brother could tame all 20 Thundercloud Vultures as his battle pets, wouldn't he be able to fight against a Universe Venerable Level 8 expert? This was secondary. To be able to capture 20 Thundercloud Vultures, was his strength still at Universe Venerable Level 7? Lei Jingyun was a little dazed at this moment as his expression kept changing. He was very discouraged after losing to Wang Xian a year ago. Not long ago, he had achieved a breakthrough and regained his confidence. In fact, he did not even take Wang Xian seriously just now, even though he possessed such strength at such a young age. But in the chaotic continent, experts were experts after all. Their strength would not change just because they were young. But now, he could no longer see through Wang Xian's strength. Wang Xian, these are the dire beasts you captured? At the front, Wang Xian was smiling as he looked at the shocked disciples before him. His lips curved into a smile. But suddenly, the great elder and the rest came before Wang Xian and stared at him with widened eyes. Yeah, I was lucky to capture some dire beasts. I have no use for them, so I'm going to gift them to the disciples. Wang Xian said to him directly. Lucky? The great elder, second elder, and the rest exchanged looks. Was this luck? Even if he was that lucky, how could it be so easy to capture so many Thundercloud Vultures? Luck was only a part of it. Strength was more important. Could it be that he had obtained the Dragon Ball from the clan and had improved again? It couldn't be. If that was the case, it would be too horrifying. Gulp. The great elder swallowed a mouthful of saliva and squeezed out a smile. Cough cough. Wang Xian, are you sure you want to gift so many dire beasts to the disciples? Do you know their value? Compared to the lightning feathers that you gave me and the treasure that the clan rewarded me with, these dire beasts are nothing. I have no use for them. Just give them to the clan. Wang Xian said with a smile. It's the Thunderlight race's fortune that you have such thoughts. The great elder was taken aback when he heard Wang Xian. Subsequently, he revealed a gratified look. Ha, great. Seems like the Thunderlight race didn't make the wrong judgment. Ha. The second elder couldn't help but pat Wang Xian's shoulder and laughed heartily. It's all mutual. Wang Xian smiled and shook his head. If the great elder of the Thunderlight race didn't reward him with the lightning feathers, he might just snatch them away. At that time, he would become enemies with the Thunderlight race. Coupled with the Fire Spirit Ball, Wang Xian still owed the Thunderlight race a lot. Some things were mutual. Since you have treated me well, I will naturally repay you with all my might. The items you took out this time are too precious, especially with so many Thundercloud Vultures. They are all treasures to the entire Thunderlight race. A long time ago, the Thunderlight race wanted to form a team of Thundercloud Vultures. However, we haven't succeeded. How about this? We'll leave the distribution of the Thundercloud Vultures to the race. We can reward the disciples of other wild beasts who have passed the test. The great elder swept his gaze across the group of Thundercloud Vultures and spoke to Wang Xian in awe. The Thundercloud Vultures were also treasures to the Thunderlight race. In particular, more than 800 Thundercloud Vultures were considered strategic treasures. They wouldn't bear to give them to the disciples directly. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.